Hello, welcome to my channel. So today I'll be demonstrating how exactly we can get a SSL certificate for free and how we can set it up to automatically renew using certificate manager. And it is one of the very common problem that we face during setting up our cluster or probably setting up our domain, and we'll learn how to actually manage this SSL certificate and issue it for absolutely free. So let's get started. Okay, so as you can see here, it is currently not secure and it is hosted on one of the domains that I currently use. So setting up and everything, I have created a video, you can check those out. Now let's first install Cert Manager. So as you can see, it helps in getting the certificate from various organizations. We'll be using Let's Encrypt staging for getting the certificate. Okay, so I'll say installation, production, and Qubit. Okay, so first I'll need to copy this and I'll need to paste this. Now it'll apply all the required changes and create required resources. Okay. Once this is done, we can just copy. Okay. Yeah. Command not found. That is strange. Okay. We can just try K9s. And here, if you could see, Cert Manager. So here, Cert Manager, Webhook, Cert Manager, and uh, CA injector. So all the three are pods are created. Now next step is to have create a cluster issuer. Okay, ACME introduction. Okay, so we'll be here, as you can see, we'll be using this sample file. I'll just copy it and okay, my bad. Okay, I'll say vi and cluster issuer dot yml and I'll paste it. So let's understand this. So this is for Let's Encrypt staging. We'll be using Let's Encrypt staging for now. Here I need to provide my email. So that would be okay. Here the server that we need to use. So like Acme staging V2 API. Like the you keep the URL the same. We need to create a private secret reference. So I'll say cluster issuer account key. Okay. Now there are two types of solvers, HTTP solver and DNS solver. We'll start with HTTP and we'll understand DNS later. Okay. So I'll say kubectl apply dash f cluster issuer. So as you can see, cluster issuer has been created. I can check it out. Kubectl get cluster issuer. Oh, sorry. Uh, get cluster issuer. So let's encrypt and it is ready. The second step is to go ahead and create a certificate. Like we'll need to get a certificate, right? So we need to understand how exactly the certificate needs to be designed. So we need to request a certificate. So I'll just say, okay, we can use this. I'll just copy it. I guess there is a simpler one. Yeah, we can just copy it. Vi certificate.yml and we'll paste it. Okay. We can remove all the unnecessary things. Name, I can say, okay, namespace sandbox is not required. Secret, okay, so secret is very important. You need to remember this in order to use it as and when required. Okay. And one more thing, make sure you create the certificate in the same namespace as that of your application. So if your application is in the namespace apps, so make sure you create a certificate in the namespace apps. The reason I'm saying is because here the secret is also created in the same namespace by default. So like secrets cannot be shared across the Kubernetes namespace by default. So we need to make sure that the application or the service, like the ingress that has been deployed, do have access to this example com TLS. Or okay, we can name it anything. I'll say test, and I'll also say TLS test com. Okay. I guess I could just remove this. It's not that important. Okay, so let the private key be there. Key store. No, this is not required. Okay. So duration is basically like how much time it would be stored and renewed before 15 days. So like it would be renewed on 75th day. And subject, okay, okay, we can have organization. I could have my organization name, say Tanmay Kamal. Okay. You don't need common name generally. Like as you can see, usually common name is used to give human readable names to see its certificate. Okay. Okay. So here the next step is DNS. Okay. So here we need to like write out all the things for which the certificate is required. I do not need it for all the things. I'll just stick to DNS names. So I'll just remove all other things. Okay. Yes. Now here comes the important part. I'll just say the first part is TLS dot test dot tanmay kamath dot in. Okay. And the issuer reference. So this is the issuer that we have used, that we have created basically. So if I say kubectl get cert cluster issuer, okay, I need to write this name there. Okay, I'll say cluster issuer, and I'll need to change it to cluster issuer. Okay, group cert manager. Okay, so this is the default value, so need not to be changed. So yeah, that should be it. If I say kubectl apply dash f certificate.yaml and kubectl get certificate, sorry, get certif oh my bad, certiface. Okay, so it is not ready. We can check out the issues in certificate manager. If I put up logs, okay, Found status certificate ready false. Okay, now I guess it is ready. Yeah, now it is ready. So that is it that you have done. Now if I just go ahead and refresh it, I know it would still say insecure. Okay, let me see. HTTPS advance. Okay, I'll explain this as well. So here, if you go on to here and check here, okay, there's this is strange. Okay, this should be explain. This should be. Acha, yeah. One more thing. You need to update the ingress as well. So I'll say, yeah. My bad. Here we need to mention the TLS certificate. So that is the reason I said it is very important to like remember the name of the certificate. Okay. So if I say kubectl get certificate, okay. As you can see, the secret is testcom TLS. I'll just copy this. Here I need to have a template. Okay, so you need to like copy this. I'll just go here and I'll paste it. Okay. Make sure you keep it in the same alignment. Now TLS host, I'll need to put up my host, that is tls.test.tanmaikamat.in. Okay, and the secret name that we have this. Okay, I'll just paste it, and that is it. That is essentially it. kubectl apply dash f ingress.yaml. And if I just go ahead and refresh it, I know it should say the same, but yeah, I'll just let you know. And it is like as you can see, it is put up by Let's Encrypt. Now the reason it is showing not secure as of now is because it is the staging organization. Okay, so the only change that I need to make is very simple. I need to change the VI cluster issue. So if you could see here, the server is Acme staging this, right? So I'll just remove the staging part, and that should work. And I'll just rename it prod. Or let's make it a different way. I'll just copy CP cluster issuer and cluster issue issuer prod.yml and vi cluster issuer prod, and let's change it to production prod. And okay, I guess we can keep it as dash prod. Make sense? Yeah, that should be it. I'll say kubectl apply dash f cluster issuer prod.yml. Now we need to create a certificate. Okay, so what I can do is I can cp certificate prod prod vi. By the way, you need to try first in production the staging part, because it is very important to actually go ahead and basically test it out. And because it the issuer has the, let's say, encrypt issue, it is very limited, and you should make sure that you don't just exhaust it out. So what I can say is, here I need the first, I'll just put up the name, that is prod. Okay, I just name this as well, dash prod. Okay, and finally other things, yeah, other things remain the same. The issuer as well, I'll change it to prod. And yeah, that should be it. I'll say kubectl apply dash f certificate prod.yaml. Kubectl get certificate, yeah. So we'll just wait until it gets accepted. I can just go to k9s and check if there is any uh, found one. Yeah, yep, it is ready. And that is it. Now I go to ingress. I change this secret name to secret, sorry, to prod, the one that we used here. Yes, this one. Okay, and that is it. That should do the thing. If I just go and refresh it. Okay, interesting. Just open it in a new tab. That is strange. It's still staging, I guess. Acha, my bad. Apply. I need to apply it. kubectl apply dash f ingress.yaml, and it is updated now. If I just refresh it, yeah, as you can see here, it is like connection is secure, and the common name is completely TLS, and you have finally successfully got your own free SSL certificate, and that gets renewed automatically. Okay, so let's understand like what we actually got here. The certificate that we got is for tls.test.tanmaikamat.in. For anyone who is looking for a certificate for one domain, one particular subdomain, probably www.tanmaikamat.in. Okay, so your work is done. That is it. That was it. But suppose if I am having 10 different websites, so it would be very difficult for me to have that HTTP solver every time. And by the way, HTTP solver only works when you have particular thing hosted on it. So if I wanted tls2 test.tanmaikamat.in, it won't allow me to get a certificate because there is no service uh, hosted there. Okay, so I'll need to manually do it. It's a pain, right? So and by default, certificate manager won't give it because it won't find a service. So this can be tackled by using something known as DNS Solver. So I'll just go here. Okay, I'll just open a new page. Documentation. I'll say I need something known as Acme and requesting services ingress. Good. Issuer. Okay, so I'll just, yeah. So here the DNS one solver. So if you remember, we have used the solver that was HTTP solver. For DNS solver, First thing is we need few. It only supports few of the issuer or few of the providers. I'll just uh, I'm not sure. Okay, as you can see, Acme DNS, Akamai, Azure, Cloudflare. So only these are the providers that it allows. I initially had my domain on GoDaddy.com, GoDaddy.in. So I had to transfer the DNS. So you'll easily get uh, the option here. If I put up this two name servers onto my uh, like the uh, domain provider, the names, I'll configure the name service. I'll put up these two. It'll transfer me here, and then I can just update the values here, and that should work. Now, for like getting a DNS solver, first step is we need to go here and search for API tokens. Okay, so I need to create a token and use template. I'll say I need it for all zone. Okay, continue to summary, and I'll create this a token. Okay, I'll just copy this token and I'll go here, and I firstly need to create a secret. Assume I don't know how to create a secret. I'll just go create secret generic keys. So that is it. I'll just copy this from file name. I'll use this one literal. Literal basically means key value pair. Okay, here I can set up as key value pair. So I'll say Cloudflare secret from literal value is API token, and I'll paste up the token key. Yeah, don't worry, I'll delete the token key. Anyways, so okay, API tokens. Hopefully, I will be able to delete it. Yeah. So once now this secret is created, let's go to Cloudflare, and here, as you can see in the issuer or basically cluster issuer, I need to update this. Okay, I'll say vi cluster issuer. That's strange. Ls. Acha, oh, my bad. Cluster issuer prod.yaml. I'll update the solver. I'll paste it. Okay. Now what this does is basically, yeah. So the key would be API token. The name would be Cloudflare API token secret. So I'll just be using ctl get SECR secrets. So this is Cloudflare secret. I just copy this. I'll acha ek second. Got copy. I'll just paste it here. Uh yeah, that is it. Okay. Now one more thing, I'll just need to update the certificate as well. So certificates. Here in DNS, what I can say is I need star dot dot. Okay, and let's keep everything kind of same. Okay, let's go. I'll say kubectl apply dash f cluster issuer prod.yaml. Okay, I guess there is some issue with that. Solvers DNS 01 Cloudflare secret API token. I guess that should work. Invalid value. Spec Acme Solver Cloudflare. I guess this should work. Okay, so I got the issue. This I need to put it tab. I guess yeah, that is it. And then I say vi sorry kubectl applied dash f certificates prod, and that should be it. K9s. I'll just say okay. So so if I say kubectl get certificate, so it is not ready yet. It is not ready yet. Let me see. Okay, so Cloudflare secret not found. Okay, so one more, as I mentioned, this Cloudflare secret is not found. It needs to be created in the namespace, in the same namespace as it has been. So I'll say dash n, and I'll use this namespace because the namespace of the cert manager, because cert manager is going to access it. Okay, see. So I guess that should do the work. And okay, now it is actually going ahead and checking it. It is trying to propagate it. I guess it should work. So it basically does is it updates this record in DNS. If you could see Acme challenge, so and so. So it basically updates it, and yeah, now as you can see, it is validated. I'll just go here, and the secret remains the same. So I believe if I just refresh it here and check on the certificate, yeah, star.test.com, test.tanmay.com. One thing you, as I said, this like the certification issue. Currently, this certificate is in default namespace, and my application is also in default namespace. That is why it is easily able to what can I say, get updated. Uh, and as I have mentioned earlier, you like it is very important for you to check out vi this the secret name. Make sure your ingress and the certificate that you issue are both in same namespace, or else it will create a lot of issues. It is completely based upon this. Okay, and that is it for the video. Well, one more thing, we can let summarize what we have understood, like what I have understood so far. So yeah, I'll create a bang diagram. Okay. So first thing first, there is a cluster issuer. cluster issue. This basically issues the certificate. Certificate manager. Okay, so certificate manager is like top level pod. This is basically responsible for renewing and creating like challenges, propagating the challenges. Cluster issuer issues a certificate. There is something known as certificate. Okay. This basically is a resource that like is a proof of having the certificate, and it generates something known as TLS secret. Okay. Now this TLS secret needs to be used by our ingress. Okay. So it should have access to this TLS secret in order to what can I say, run and like be secure. Last but not the least, there are two types of solvers. One is HTTP solver and HTTP 01 more precisely, and the second is DNS solver. So that was it. That was it for the video. Thank you so much.